Good night. I had to say that with some real energy. Good night, everybody. How are you doing today? I want to welcome you to the digital age with your boy, the hostess with the mostest, Karen Rose. So we are live inside the beautiful island of Trinidad and Tobago. Let me know one time where you guys in the world watching us from tonight. We want to see some flags because you know so we have Ayadi coming up on the stage just now. We want to see some flags. Give me some likes, some hearts, some fireworks. Listen, we are going to have an amazing show tonight. And before we get started, let me just shout out some of the people who are here tonight. Britannia, I see you. Denise, what is going on? Omari, big up yourself on the intro music. Anytime you see, you know how we do, bro. Omari, what's going on? Nikita, hello. Caribbean Power Lunch. Yes, one of the baddest podcasts in the entire Caribbean. Go check that out. Who else have we got in here? We got Narissa. Good night. How are you, Narissa? Jason Brown, yes, Terry's Insta fam is represented inside. Listen, her community follows Terry everywhere she goes. All right. Who else we got in here? We got Nikita, good night. We got Charmaine Trotman, good night. Danielle Henry, how are you doing? Listen, if this is your first time tuning into the digital age, I want to welcome all first timers inside the digital age. What this series is all about is educating you on the digital space, the different aspects of the online arena, so that you yourself can build your brand, build your business online. Whether that is, incorporating things like YouTube, podcasting, e-commerce, social media. We have so many different topics that we're going to be touching on throughout this entire series. And tonight is episode 4. So y'all ain't come to see me. I know y'all ain't come to see me. All right. And let me bring on the person y'all came to see. Listen, digital age audience, I need y'all to give me a big welcome. I need fireworks. I need likes. I need hearts. I need y'all to give Dr. Terry Carell Reed a big, large up. Let us welcome Dr. Terry Carell. Oh!
Indians hype. So, only
listen. No, listen. First things first, Caribbean people are always hype, energetic people with all the energy, and that's what makes us us. Secondly, absolutely. Thank you for taking the time out of your almost impossible schedule. Yo, we as you guys know, we ended up coming on a couple minutes late because, Murphy's Law, things happen on Terry's side. Terry's community could tell you about it. All of a sudden, we're about to go live, and my stuff isn't even ready to work. And you know what? It's all a part of it. So, Terry, how are you doing tonight?
But don't worry, we sir. It don't matter. Murphy can do the bushes. Murphy from anywhere. God that we serve will always prosper. That is what we're talking about.
Listen, they can't stop this. They cannot stop this. So how are you doing today, man? How are you doing?
Not bad, not bad. I mean, I'm giving God thanks. Thank you. First of all, congratulations. I think what you're doing is remarkable. It may seem simple to a lot of people, but taking your brand to a different level, training yourself, teaching yourself how to do what producers are doing in like big TV stations. It's a big for the career.
It man, listen. Kudos to everybody that works in TV and broadcasting. Y'all don't get the credit y'all deserve. Y'all do
Listen.
not get the credit y'all deserve because this
And thank
is
you to everyone who opted in, who's tuning in from the Caribbean, of course, world of the Trinity Massive, you, the host, and of course, the Jamaicans who are here, and all the other viewers that you have from other parts of the world. Just thank you so very much for opting in. You could be anywhere this evening
what you
and
here
you
with
decide to
us.
listen. Thanks.
And let me give you guys a disclaimer from jump, right? One of the biggest challenges that me and Terry are going to have, because we have it every single time, is we will say, hey, I need to talk to you for 5 minutes. 5 minutes turns into an hour and 45 minutes. We say, hey, we're
One doing it in 1 hour.
we will
Promise.
we will try. We will try, right? We will say, hey, we're gonna do a session together. We're gonna do some work together on our online brand, and that session might be carded for 1 hour. Before you know it, we log on at 6 o'clock. When we come off the thing, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. Like, oh yeah, well we have so much to talk about, Terry.
There's a vibe though. When you find people who you can vibe with, who positive and they reciprocate, you find that time kind of just flies because you're in company.
Yes, yes, yes. So we are going to try, okay? Me and Terry, we like to wander. We will talk about one thing and go off, and it's always good conversation, thought provoking conversation. I've learned so much in the few months that I've known Terry. It's astronomical, man. She's always giving me a completely different point of view. So we are going to try to have a focused conversation just for you guys, all right? So
We can do this.
we can, and we will try. We tried to do a prep session yesterday for 30 minutes. That turned into what could have been a whole show on its own. So more on that later on. First things first, housekeeping. Let you guys know what we are going to be talking about tonight. All right. So if this is your first time, what I like to do is I like to give you guys a bit of an agenda so you guys know what to expect throughout the episode. And if this is your fourth episode, or third episode, or second, you guys already know the deal, right? You know how I do. All right. So we are going to be getting into a quick introduction about who Niem Terry Carell, who that. We are going to be diving into who she is, and we are here for the gem. So you guys have probably heard Terry's story so many times. Terry didn't come here to chat about her history. She here to come and shell down the place with gems. All right. So we are going to then get into the unorthodox way of social media for business. And the reason why it's the unorthodox way is the way Terry Carell does social media is just different from what the experts say. It's different from how I do social media and what I talk about. She just has her own way of doing social media. And you know what the crazy part is? Terry Carell, I have like 50,000 times more followers and a global audience and a global brand. And we here who are the experts can't do what she do yet. So then after that, you guys are going to have 1,000,001 questions, and we're going to get to the Q&A after that, all right? So before we start, we need to drop the digital age intro. Cue it up. All right, let us get started. All right. First things first, we need to queue up. We need to queue up our timer. All right. We need to queue up our time and we got to get that set. Let us dive into the introduction. So, Terry Carell, the 10 minutes has started. Let's let the people who, if this is the first time they've ever heard of Terry Carell, who is Terry Carell Reed? I know you do. I love it. And you see, and the reason why that's so important is because, later on we're gonna get into when we're talking about branding, we're gonna talk about niching down. So it's always good when I hear you say, I do so many things and I don't want to niche down. And you are living proof that you don't need to. All right. So let me start, So you started off as a vet, right? How did we move from we went to school, you became a vet. How did we get from that to where we are event hosting? Give me the abbreviated version of how we made that transition.
Um, to Cuba and enjoy. Oh,
Hold
they're
on.
not.
Yo, we just let's bring that back. So we have you guys are hearing Terry now? Hold on. Are you guys seeing her now? Let me know. Let us know. Perfect. They can hear you guys now. All right. You see?
Rainbow, come here. Come on. Sorry, this is so not professional. Come here. All right. I just want to take an opportunity. Could you say hi to everyone? All right. So the reason why I'm
Hi.
going to was she downstairs, and I told her I have an interview for downstairs. She's coming down the stairs, tum, tum, and she comes to me. We can't see you. We can't hear you. What are you talking about? She starts writing it down. Mom, I'm what?
Wow. All right. So
Bye.
we're gonna have to bring that back, right? We're gonna have to bring that back, right? So you guys didn't miss too much, right? So what we were asking Terry is, how did we get from going to school to become a vet to now she's hosting some of the biggest events worldwide, and give us the abbreviated version of events of how we made that transition.
Right. So high school thought I was going to be Dr. Doolittle. Veterinary medicine wants to study. Went to Cuba, learned it in Spanish, came home. The vet board said they did not accredit veterinary medicine. And therefore I was just kind of like stuck. So many of us, what do? We go. I have to tell you, I fell back on all the soft skills that I learned. So I stumbled into public relations. People said try media. I tried media. It worked. They said try branding, brand management and general management. I tried it, and it worked. And so I think what you see today is a culmination of disappointment, rejection, figure out, take chances, betting on coming out on top.
Do you think being in Jamaica, coming from Jamaica, has hindered your progress in any way?
No, absolutely not. I actually think that we have a cutting edge, and I think it depends on your perspective. For some people, they think of the Caribbean and they think of small, they think of third world, they think of developing, they think of backward. I
Right.
think small but powerful, small but sexy, small but resilient and resourceful. And I think that we just have a certain kind of attitude and flavor that whichever position you put us in, wherever you put us, we're always going to thrive. So I think it depends on what your perspective is, how you view yourself, your country, and your region. I know I large because my country large, because the Caribbean large, so nobody can chat to me.
Man, listen, it's always good to hear somebody who is doing it on a global scale just give us this kind of insight and let us know that you can do it right from the Caribbean. You can do it right from Jamaica, because more often than not, we're always hearing about people wanting to move, needing to leave because there's no opportunities. But the truth of the matter is that there is a where there's a will, there's a way, and you have people. You need to see people like a Dr. Terry Carell. You need to see them because they are showing us that it can be done, and you can grace some of the biggest scales, some of the biggest stages. Can you tell
Oh,
us? Can you tell us what was that big stage you jumped on just a little while ago? What was that big stage?
I think I just hosted the International News Media Association global, and it was supposed to take place in Paris. So I should have been in Paris. Je parle de français. I should have been doing all this, and
Right.
instead, what happened? COVID happened. And I think the organizers could have said, well, all right, let's do something homegrown. Let's get somebody who is local, try to make this very technical. And what they did was they contacted me and they said, we want you. We still want you to host our global media awards. And I think it speaks to the fact that it does not matter where you come from. It's how good you are at what you do. It's how good you across your platform.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. How does that
And
feel where you are hosting and controlling the show of one of the biggest, because that's like one of the biggest awards for media houses internationally.
it's huge. I mean, it is the association that honors like your Financial Times, your New York Times, your Washington Post, like the papers and news media companies that as big brands more shape, views, issues. All of a sudden, I'm the one who is basically the face and the voice of that event.
Wow.
And if you think about it, little girl, but that's not the case. And I think how we view ourselves is how people will view us.
You see, oh my goodness, it's this perspective that you have. Where does this confidence come from? That it doesn't matter how small of a place you come from. When you touch down, you light up every single room. So where does this confidence come from?
Um, well, first of all, I think it's my faith unapologetically. I'm a believer. I believe in Jesus Christ. I think my faith base keeps me grounded. I was lucky to have a grandmother taught me from early. Listen, you understand yourself, you have to be who you are, and you have to celebrate you when people don't do it for you. So I just kind of walked with it.
Just give us 1 second. So we're hearing a bit of a breakup, but I think we are good now.
Yeah, they think I'm breaking up. They're not hearing me clearly. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't know.
Well, the good thing is, right, is that this is all being recorded as well, and everything is coming in clean on this end. So whatever we miss, this is going to be live on all of the platforms right after, and everything is being recorded good and clean. So we could always go back in and listen to it. All right, Terry. Um, who do you
Yeah,
feel like is who do you feel like is your biggest supporter?
Naima. Right now, Naima is in the comments. If you look in your comment section right now, you see Naima talking a lot and participating. I would actually go and say that my 8-year-old is my biggest supporter. And she tells me every single day, I want to be like you, mom. And I keep on telling her she's going to be so much better. And she's one of the reasons why I stay motivated, I stay encouraged, and I stay inspired. Supporting me right now. And it is evident that even while I'm here, she's upstairs trying to help out and So I think she's showing it right there. She's my biggest supporter.
She is like your super sidekick. Every single time we jump in your stories, Naima's helping you. Naima's trying to. What was it? What were we doing? I think it was when we were building the website. And Naima was right there with you saying, hey, let me try to fix this.
But Karen, I'll tell you what. I tell you what. Children don't learn by what you tell them to do.
Right.
They learn by what you show them. They learn by what they see you demonstrate every single day. And so the fact that she's up there, watching, she opted in on her own,
That's
on her
wild.
tablet, her laptop. I mean, I got to give God thanks. She's a really super cool kid.
I love it. I love it. I love it. And with Nai, what was the inspiration for you to help her start her own business?
The inspiration is I grew up with my mom and my grandmother always supporting everything that I did. If I wanted to do drama, they pushed me.
Right.
If I wanted to learn how to swim, they pushed me. I don't know what it is to not have a supportive foundation. So for me, I think we help our kids to find out what they love and
Right.
what they're really good at by encouraging them. So she drew something for her project. It came out very well. I framed it. I shared it with my community. My community started buying it. And now Naima thinks she's rich.
Oh, Lord.
I'm rich, mommy. So I told her, this is something that could start a business
Right.
right now.
Right.
So
And
it's
moving
something,
on from that, before we close out this section, I need you to break down for the community, what is being the human Ethernet all about? Break that down for us, because that's really going to lay the foundation for where we go into this next segment.
Right. So the reason why I have a human Ethernet is because years ago when my cable and internet popped down, and we in the Caribbean know when you have to call the telecoms provider and reset your router, and all of these little icons come up. The rep started to explain to me what each icon meant, and the Ethernet and all of that. And then when I looked it up, I realized that it means connection of networks. It's a networking within the system. And I think probably one of my strongest attributes is the fact that I know how to connect.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if I'm connecting with a man on the sidewalk. I can sit down and I can reason with no problems with a man on the sidewalk. And if you want me to sit down at the table, I can do that too. So I think that's one of the greatest gifts I think I have, to just connect right across the board.
I love it. The connector, who is that? Ramel McKenzie jumped in and said that you are the connector of dots. And one of the things in this world, it is always better to be a connector of dots than the actual dot. Keep that in mind when you are building your brands and when you are building your business and just how you carry yourself. So what we're going to do is, there's a message from Terry Carell that when I was doing my homework, when I was doing my prep and I was digging through the crates, Terry was afraid of this moment because I've been known to dig through crates and Tigna. When I was digging through the crates and I was just looking at some of the work that Terry has done, there was a message she left for creatives that I thought was absolutely amazing. So we're going to play this message from Terry. We're going to cut to a quick break. What I want Terry to do in the meantime, though, is Terry, because we're getting some people saying that we're chopping out, let me know if you could grab your AirPods and see if you can connect with your AirPods, if possible, and see if that streamlines the process. Let Terry go and do that. We're going to listen to the Terry message I thought was amazing for everybody to take in.
Hi guys, I'm Dr. Terry Carell Reid, and it was a pleasure being a panelist for the second staging of Indigo Conference here at the Courtly Auditorium. For the creatives who are wondering, how can they compete with the bigger brands and get their foot in, what I would tell you is stop competing. Why care? The big brands are doing their thing and they're doing their thing fine. I think what you guys need to do is really focus on who you are, what your brand is, what is your long-term goal. Make sure that your technical skill is sound. Make sure that you're having a better idea of what your business model is going to look like. Are your rates competitive? Understand that you might have to do some work for free, but that does not mean that you are to be exploited. The fact of the matter is that if you continue to hone your craft, if you continue to know your worth and the worth of your talent, and you keep on putting out things of quality, it won't matter who the other big brands are. In fact, they'll be the ones coming to you.
Stay connected and entertained with broadband bundles designed for you. With Flow starter and advanced plans, you can enjoy faster speeds to stream more of what you love. Get free access to the best shows, series, and movies with HBO Go, and connectivity on the go with free Flow Wi-Fi. Packages start from as low as $295 and no contract required. Visit discoverflow.co to sign up today. Flow, keeping you connected.
Sharing your goals, helping you find your place in the world. Eastern gratitude, God's holding your hand, leading the way, here for your needs, making sure that you succeed. Eastern's lending a hand, Eastern together, we're leading the way. Eastern Credit Union, leading the way.
See that night was
Nice. So now we are back. Listen, that was such a timely message from Terry Carell. And you dropped that, I think it was in 2018, right?
yeah. I was
And listen, and that has that is still relevant to this day, you know. So I'm glad I dug that up.
thank you.
Yeah. So Terry, are you
Yes.
ready? This is what the people came to see. They want to see the unorthodox way of social media for their business, right? Listen, we can do this, all right? Nice. You ready, Terry?
You put me on.
Listen, what did they say about pressure?
No, it creates diamond.
Exactly. All right, so the clock has started. Terry is ready. Let's get to cracking, all right? So the reason why Terry is here today, she has built this global following that, you know, spans across countless countries. When we were building out her website, you wouldn't believe the amount of countries that are tuning into her website, that are following her and what her message is. It's absolutely amazing, right? And in working with Terry, one of the craziest things about Terry is that all of the following that you have seen with respect to Terry, Terry hasn't run not one ad. No boosted posts,
No.
nothing.
Nothing.
Crazy. So I need you to let us know when we are starting to build our brand, right? What are some of the things that we need to do? Because you're big on this. You're big on your brand starts offline before it ever makes its way online, right?
I think just to jump in, I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions. I think everybody thinks of how to look perfect and how to posture and position perfectly on their online platforms without actually making sure that everything that they show and everything that they promise and everything that they say they're going to deliver online, that they're delivering offline. So if you're not delivering offline and you're not using online as simply as an extension of what you do offline,
Right.
you're lying to people. You're deceiving people. You're only looking for numbers. You're only looking for like a big account, but you're really not planning on doing anything with it.
That is an absolute fact. So, you know, to piggyback off of that, what are some of the things that we should be doing offline before we start to bring our brand online?
Well, I think first of all, it starts with you. Forget. I mean, I know that a lot of persons say, find your market, find your customer, find the problem. Yeah, I get, I that, and that's a big conversation. Before I serve, before I understand to help
Right.
problem, I need a clear understanding of who I for, I believe, I believe system. And I think if you don't, then you're going to be.
That's huge. Now, does that now? Would you say, does that work for every single industry? Like, do I need to know what I'm about if I'm, just selling a product? Like, I decided, you know what, I need some extra money, and I'm looking to build a little side business, and I'm selling furniture or some product. Do I need to know? Do I need to be doing introspection before I get started in that side business?
Let me tell you, you don't have to, you can hustle, you care, you cannot, you don't need a compass, a moral compass that helps to guide you. We can all get up and say very, obscure ways. But usually what happens is that is not sustainable.
Right.
It doesn't last. Eventually people go, well, I don't really like what you stand for.
Right.
And I think for persons, whether they're personal brand, very clear about what they stand for, when they're very clear about, what they're willing versus what they're willing to back you wholeheartedly. They trust you. You have
Right.
integrity, and they will jump behind that and they will support you the day you close shop. But if they feel like you dibble and dabble and you trying to serve everybody and you standing for everything and you want to be like supportive of everything regardless, then people going to be like, "Jumper, you're not credible."
Right.
And I think that's why it's one of the most important things that are looked over. Everyone wants the audience, they want the customers. They don't really, they're on rocky ground when it comes to them and their values, their value system.
And it shows every single time. So here's what, Terry. What's quick question, right? Because we're getting some messages that you're breaking up, right? What devices do you have online around you right now?
None.
Okay. We need to talk to you. We need to talk to your provider.
I'm so I'm so I've done Zoom, I've done all my events on my Wi-Fi. I don't know why this is giving trouble today.
So here's what we do, right? Let me know in the comments below, right? What we're gonna do is we can take a quick break where we're gonna disconnect, right? We're gonna have Terry switch devices, okay? And we can come back live and go and pick up right where we left off. Let me know if you guys are willing to wait 2 minutes for us to come back live with Terry, because again, we just started, right? We ain't even dive into this. So if you guys are willing to give us 2 minutes, we're gonna have Terry restart, and then we're gonna come right back, okay? Let me know in the comments if that's okay with you guys, all right? Let me know. All right, so we're seeing a few people saying the comments are coming in. They're good. They'll wait.
I'm really sorry, guys.
All right. So you see, even the super producer in the background is saying we gotta restart. All right, so we're gonna disconnect. Okay, we're gonna have Terry switch devices, and we're gonna come right back on the digital age with you guys. All right. All right. See you guys in a couple minutes.
All right.